Now this here, there we go. Wow. This is a German mineral water bottle. I'm on Walnut Street in Yankton, South Dakota. This house behind me was built sometime in the 1880s or 90s. I've got permission to excavate the grounds in search of artifacts, so I'll take a walk around and see what's going on. This house still retains most of its original features. Brick foundation, siding, those old windows. It's a really cool looking old house. Here's the backyard. As you can see, it's fairly open. I did push a probe rod through the ground just off the back of the house. I hit what I believe is coal ash and possibly some glass. That's a good indicator of an early feature. We'll get this thing opened up. This is a big cistern. I think this actually predates the house that's here. The house shows up on an 1891 map, and this is definitely 1880s. I'm thinking mid 1880s. There's all kinds of stuff down here. I must be down 8 feet. I just sunk a 7-foot rod down into it, so we've got a long way to go. Look at that. That's amazing. Some kind of a pressed glass pitcher. Looks mint. Like a basket weave pattern on it. That's really cool. On some kind of a drinking glass. Also a pressed glass, I believe. Must have been broken, so they discarded it. On some kind of a zinc glazed ointment pot. Look at that. Notice anything inside of it? Just dirt and roots. I've been finding all kinds of like really ornate dinnerware as well, like a blue willow pattern, I believe. There's some really soft layers of ash, and then there's hard packed clay. They must have capped it off over the years. Look at that, this might be a celluloid. Some kind of a brush. A celluloid brush. I don't see any maker's marks on it. Oh, yeah, all these blue pieces I've been saving. Look at that. Some kind of a butter pat. Has a mark on the bottom. Edge Malkin and Company. Just a stamp. These hardly ever have stamps on them. Or impressed into the clay anyway. Look at that, that's an amazing pattern. Everything's just kind of intertwined in this. We've got a, looks like Albany slip glaze. See that like brown finish? That was popular in the late 1800s. Could have been like a mixing container, maybe even a mug of some sort. We're getting all kinds of really early stuff. So this is, I think they call it an English like chow chow bottle. D&M. It's definitely a European made. See the kind of crude style to it, and it's got an applied top. It's definitely 1880s. Look at this pattern. I mentioned the blue willow. That's English transferware. That could even be 1870s. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, Mexican Mustang liniment. Lion Manufacturing Company, New York. You know, that's a tooled top, but that is a very early bottle. Look at all that embossing. These are actually found all across the US. It was a very popular product during its time. Whoa. That is something else. Some more blue willow. It's a serving platter. Looks like yeah, definitely 1870s, 80s. It looks like some kind of a wine bottle. You can see it's just solid coal ash. I hit something. Whoa. Jacques Chemical Works, Chicago. This is a very old bottle. Yeah, that's an ink. Look at that color. That is something else. It's got to be 1870s or 80s. And when I find these wine bottles, they're usually like a green. So this is unusual. Oh, that's nice. That's a really nice aqua color. That's a turn mold with an applied top. So when they formed this bottle, the mold actually turns to form it. Then they applied the top separately. Workers applied it with tools. It's got to be 1870s or 80s. I'm hitting some wood ash as well, indicating a possible earlier layer. I usually find wood ash in 70s and 80s pits. It's a broken flower planter. This is very easy digging. I know there's some hard-packed clay layers, but yeah, generally this is really soft ash. It's nice. I have to try to find the edges so it doesn't collapse. Looks like we've got a pocket of stuff here. Could be a tea kettle, and it's just very soft ground. There we go. Some kind of a ball neck panel. Could have been a medicine or extract. That's an earlier one. That's real nice. No way. Ralph Ward, druggist, Yankton, Dakota Territory. I thought this was like a pharmaceutical or a round style prescription at first, but that is a Millville round style. That's got to be early to mid 1880s. I think I've only dug one other of these in this size. 1 ounce, I believe. On a Albany slip glazed teapot, the bottom of one anyway. More of this willow pattern. You know, they must have had an entire dinner set they threw down here. It makes you wonder what the context was of it being broken. I mean, I'm finding so much, it could have been like an entire china cabinet was knocked over. I think it's a wizard oval, is what they call this. For the teeth and breath. Oh, fragrance sozodont. Okay, yeah, it's some kind of a toiletry. You can see on the front for the teeth and breath. Fragrance sozodont. It's got to be 1870s or 80s. Look at that pattern. That is amazing. Like I said, I believe this is blue willow. I think they actually call this like a flow blue. The blue kind of flows off of the stamp. Okay, I think this is a Keystone style pickle bottle. Could have been from the H.J. Heinz company. I don't see any embossing on it though. Would have had a paper label on the front. Into a solid trash layer, we've actually got pieces sticking out of the sides all over. We haven't found the edges of this thing yet. Sunk a rod down into it. What is this? That's unusual. I've never seen anything like this before. It looks like some kind of brass piece. It's got a screw coming out of it. Is that maybe a primer of some sort? Strange. A lot of the stuff's kind of wedged in here. It's kind of intertwined. I gotta dig around it so I don't damage anything. But this is something else. It has the potential to be one of the deepest pits I've ever dug. Wow. Look at that. We've got some transfer wear. Maybe a Osborne Davenport pattern. Look at that. This, I don't see any markings. Handle broke obviously and they chucked it. Could have been like a water pitcher. What do we have here? Oh, Mason's Improved. May 10th, 1870. That is really cool. Must be a pressed glass. Some kind of a French square style prescription. Fortunately, there's no embossing on it. Likely from a local pharmacy though. Now this here, there we go. Wow. This is a German mineral water bottle. Nassau. Seltzer's Nassau. It's got a stamp there on the shoulder. These are usually found in early to mid 1880s context. You see there's just different layers here. There's hard packed clay and ashes. I was hitting all kinds of stuff with the shovel. Looks like a lot of it could be broken. Some kind of a, this is almost a Blake style prescription with a long neck. That's unusual, no embossing unfortunately. Could have also been some kind of toiletry with that style of top. Look at all this stuff. That is a very old flask. That's almost a knife edge. GW. I've never seen a stamp like that before. Look at that top. That's got to be late 1870s, very early 1880s. That is something. Oh yeah, that is early pressed glass. Look at that. It's got a leaf design and a leaf pattern on it. That is nice. There's so much stuff down here. Plenty of bricks. Stuff down there. I'll have to get it cleaned out first. There's a few more pieces in the wall here. Dr. D. Jane's Expector in Philadelphia. I've dug these before. It's a popular patent medicine during the day. There's the front, back of it, tooled top. Now this is just hanging here from the roots. See this fluting on the top. This is a lamp chimney. I usually see the wider fluting like this in the 1870s, 80s context. Working on this in the wall here. What do we have? So that's a tooled top Hawk wine bottle. It's clear. It still has some fluid inside, so I won't mess with that. Sometimes the stuff can smell terrible. I think there's one more on the wall over here. Look at that. That's a very old bottle. C & Company. Not sure what that stands for, but look at that thin top. That's got to be 1870s or 80s. I have another patent medicine, some kind of extract. All kinds of chop house bones down here. Whoa! I've never seen one of these. Egyptian Tenexine. Trademark. That's like almost like a sheared top on it. Looks like a mucilage. You know, that is something special. Looks like it's got remnants of a cork. Maybe it had some kind of a special stopper for it. That's an old bottle. We're into solid layers down here. Some kind of a, what do we have here? Sperm sewing machine oil. So yeah, this was back from the days of whaling. Sperm whales, they used oil for burning fluid in lamps, sewing machines. They unfortunately hunted the animal to near extinction during those times, but this is definitely a mark of the era. We're down over 12 feet and another pocket. That's another very early piece. C & Company on the bottom. Could have been a medicine. I mean, all kinds of bricks, plenty of ashes. Look at that. Colton's flavors. Colton Select Flavors. See the embossing on the panels, blank on the back. That's where the paper label would have gone. There's probably one right there too. This is an old one. Plenty of bricks down here. Another mucilage bottle. And another oldie. And another one would have had a paper label on it. There's no embossing. This one's wedged in here. Let's see. Okay, it looks like an Eclipse style olive oil. This one's got an applied top. That's a real nice early one. You know, could just be a crude tooled top. No, it's applied. Yeah, no embossing on it. Still haven't found bottom. This is wild. rock. Oh, yeah, this bottom layer is so early. That's an applied top 3-piece mold bottle. That's got to be 1870s. I may be in the bottom layer. I hit some gravel that seems to be natural. I'll have to dig further though, just to be sure. There's a good few pieces in this layer though. Some of them are kind of hard packed here, but this one might be intact. Looks like a prescription bottle of some sort. French square, no embossing. Oh, look at that, it's got a really thin neck on it. It's a nice looking piece. Oh wow, that's an early one. An early Davis vegetable painkiller. You know, it has painkiller there on the side, Davis on the front. It's an early tooled top piece. And an Eclipse style olive oil. No embossing. Partial label. That's hard to read. Could say almond. Can't say for sure though. This is all coal ash. Little bits of coal in it. It's dusty. Yeah, we might not be at bottom. Seems like it drops further there. That's an oldie. Tooled top piece. Must have been like a little Pharmaceutical or something. It's got some great iridescence on it. Yeah, it just drops right in. Must be the bottom to a water pitcher. J&G Meakin, Hanley, England. Said it many times before in my videos, that black colored stamp is usually earlier, generally pre-1890. Another little cone type ink. It's a really unusual shape, tooled top. Wow. Dr. J.L. Kirkpatrick's Sure Cure for Asthma, Hamilton, Ohio. That is a really cool piece made by the Whittle Tatum Company. Look at that. That is very early. Aqua color is something else. This bottom layer has been fairly quiet. Although since the ash continues, so I'm not sure if we're on bottom yet or not. Here's a nice early ball neck panel style bottle. Could have held a medicine or an extract. Look at that pipe bowl. I think they call these penny pipes. They could purchase them packed for $1. Sometimes they have markings on them. I don't see anything on this one. Wow, so that's the face of a shoe fly flask. Look at how whittled that is. Whittled means the ridges there could have been from the mold plate making the bottle was hot or cold, the temperature change, I believe. And another lamp chimney with the wide fluted end there. Definitely 1870s, 80s. We found bottom at about 14 feet. Turned into like a gravel sand mix. I've been clearing out these ash layers. Seems like they continue on a bit. I've uncovered this liquor flask. This is a very old one. Looks like CG Company on the bottom. Yeah, this is likely one of the earliest types of shoe fly flasks. Well, this ash layer seems to be somewhat productive. I've been finding some fragments and they have a couple whole bottles here. It's nice that I dug down so far. I can just pick all the trash layers into it without having to scoop anything out. That is in there. I'm still a bit perplexed as to what this pit was used for. Why was it dug so deep? Why was there so many clay layers and ash layers? It's a strange situation. Well, there we go. Tooled top pickle bottle. Key mold bottom. That's an oldie. An early tooled top piece. Nice aqua color. Really soft ash, easy to dig through. It's like, I may have another piece here. Maybe a liquor bottle or a prescription. Okay, shoe fly style liquor flask. May have something else back here. Here's the haul. I'm still not entirely sure why this spot was originally dug, but I do know that they threw trash and ash into it sometime in the late 1870s, early 1880s. Got an amazing amount of blue willow pattern china. Got some other patterns as well, that German mineral water, mason jar lid, that brush, some forks, prescription bottles, liquor flasks, sewing machine oil, apothecary files, some olive oils, pharmaceuticals, glassware, wine bottles, patent medicines, inks, a couple pickle bottles, an ointment pot. Well, there you have it. We'll get this filled back in.